y'all, I would just like to formally apologize for how bad I look in this video, but it took a really long time to film and I didn't really have time to refilm it and be able to upload at the same time. So, I'm sorry, but enjoy. Today's video is going to be a story time video about the time that I got kicked out of the House of Blues. It was the day before my boyfriend's birthday, so October 18th, 2015, because his birthday is on the 19th. So we went to go see Hollywood Undead, Crown the Empire, and I Prevail at the House of Blues. It started out great, everything was fantastic, and we were waiting outside. We had bought skip the line, so that means that we get to skip the line basically, but we still had to go after all the VIPs. So once we got inside, we still ended up getting barricades. So by we, I mean me, my boyfriend Dalton, one of my best friends Liz, Dalton's sister, and then Dalton's sister's boyfriend at the time. So it's his fault that we got caught and got kicked out. So we're just going to use an initial of M. This is all M's fault. So it started out great. I Prevailed did absolutely amazing. I showed you guys some of their set in one of my previous videos before, but in case you missed that or you're new here, I'll include some of that video now.
Alright, get it through your fucking head, I'm done with you, so go ahead! Get back on ass, man! You!
So after I Prevail, Crown the Empire came out, and here's some video from that. After Crown the Empire set, Liz started to have kind of a panic attack, so we had to leave the barricade to go get her some water and so she could calm down, which wasn't really a big deal to us because we didn't really care about seeing Hollywood Undead set anyway. Sorry. I'm a fan of them, but personally, I only had to be barricade for Crown the Empire, and my friend's health was more important than seeing a band. That wasn't that important to me. She really wanted to see Hollywood Undead, so she stayed at the barricade. Me, Dalton, Liz, and M all left because we couldn't be unsupervised, so M was our supervisor. We see how well that turned out. So we go off to the side, we get Liz some water, she sits down, they're chilling out. Me and Dalton go to the back by merch. I text Liz and tell her, hey, me and Dalton are back by merch, so you and M can come back whenever you're okay. So they come back there, and we're sitting back there, and we're like, man, we really want to meet crew, we don't know how. We wish, there was some way. And we were talking about it all day, and someone was like, hey, we should ask their merch guy if they're going to come out after the show or anything. And we were like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So while we were waiting to talk to their merch guy, some other girl went up and talked to him, and this is all my fault. This is where it gets bad. I decided that it would be a great idea to go up to this random girl and be like, hey, because I don't remember all of the details exactly, I'm going to read part of this off of my laptop because I DM'd it to myself on Twitter when it happened. So my bright idea was like, hey, let's go ask. So we were standing there. The merch guy said that he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know where to find them or anything. So then some random guy goes up to the girl that was, trying to figure out how to meet. And he's like, he has this autographed vinyl. So, obviously, he had met them, but we were like, how? They didn't have VIP, and we were like, okay, how do you meet them? But this is before, we even got involved. I was just overhearing this girl talk to this guy. And this guy goes up to this girl and was like, hey, you want to meet her, right? And she's like, yeah, please tell me what I have to do. And he told her how to get to the dressing room to go meet them. And I didn't hear that part, but, I heard the girl being like, okay, thank you so much. Cool, I'm going to be able to meet. So, it was my bright idea to go up to this random girl and be like, hey, you're going to meet, can we come with you? But it was also her fault for saying yes. So, this girl was like, yeah, of course, absolutely, sure, come with me. And so, we all bunched up, we were all in a bunch. So, we're like, okay, we're gonna go. And we did like this circle, like this team circle thing. And we're like, okay, we're gonna go on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're like, team, whatever. And so we followed this girl and we had to go downstairs. And M was like, wait, can we get back in after we meet them? And we were like, we don't know. So he went back to go ask the security and they were like, yeah, whatever, you can come back in. We were like, okay, cool. So we're following this random girl who I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Even if you're watching this, if you're the girl that got kicked out with us, like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember your name. But anyways, so we're following this girl and basically, like, we have to go through the kitchen. Like, we have to go back through the restaurant. So we're walking in like a straight line through like the dining area and we're going back there and we walk into the kitchen, and before all of this had, like, before the show, Dalton, Liz, and I had went to go eat at the restaurant, and, like, we had our food saved in boxes, and we were gonna come back and get it after the show. So we walk in the kitchen, and, like, the waitress that waited us was like, hey, did you guys need your food or something? She was like, what are you guys doing? And I started to panic, and I looked at the door, and it said emergency exit. So I was like, we're just exiting. And I pushed open the door and I walked out. And then the waitress was like, somebody call security. And M was like, that bitch just called security. We have to go. So we start running up the stairwell to go up to their green room. And M drops his fucking backpack. He dropped his fucking backpack and all of his shit went everywhere. It was everywhere, like all over the staircase. And I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, security is, like, at this point they had just called security, so security like wasn't chasing us or anything. But, like, I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're gonna get caught, we need to go. And I stopped to let M pick up his stuff, and, like, they kept running after M dropped his bag. I was like, hey, M dropped his bag, hold up, guys. And they were like, okay. So they were up there. I looked down the stairwell, and looking straight back up at me was a security guard. And I looked down at him and I was like, shit. And, like, they started running up the stairs and I was like, we're gonna get caught. And when the security guard came up, like, I could still hear them talking, and I was like, I hope they hear security and they shut up. I hope they shut up. And luckily they did, and they kept running and they got all the way upstairs, but we'll get to that later. So it's me, Dalton, and Em are in the corner of the stairwell, and, like, security runs up, and me and Dalton look at each other, and we both just mouth, we're like, fuck. Because we're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Like, we know that this is, like, really not an okay thing to do. And so the head security guard, which was, like, the one that was, like, taking care of this whole thing, he calls for backup, and he's like, hey, I need backup, and blah, blah, blah. And the north stairwell, I think, is what it was. And so all of the sudden, all of these security guards come out of all these different doors in the stairwell. And by the time all of them stopped coming out, we were surrounded by about 12 security guards. And I was like, and, like, in my head, I was like, why are we surrounded by 12 different security guards? Like, we're not dangerous. Like, we're kids. Like, we're not gonna do anything. And, like, we're cooperating. I don't understand why there's 12 of you, like, surrounding us. And the guy was like, is it just you guys? And I was like, no, there's 2 more up there somewhere. And they were like, oh, great. Like, they rolled their eyes, and they were being really, like, the head security guard and then this one other girl were being super, like, rude and sassy. But, like, every other security guard was actually super cool about the situation. Like, they were super cool about it. They weren't being, like, really mean. Like, 2 of them were being super mean to us, and I don't know why. But anyways, so one of the security guys that was being nice to us, during the show, Dalton had, like, held his shoe up, and, like, he wanted to sign it, and some guy, like, gave us, like, a Sharpie, and, like, their album, they're like, have you sign this too? And we were like, okay, because we were barricaded, like, grabbed our hands twice. So, like, we were up there, and, like, we were trying to get Dalton's shoe signed, and, like, walked off, and he completely forgot about it, and we were like, oh no. So one of the security guards that was, like, being nice to us, he was like, weren't you guys just in the pit? And we were like, yeah. And, like, we started laughing because they were being super chill. And he was like, man, you wanted to do shoe sign that bad, huh? And Dalton was like, yeah. And we started laughing. So they started escorting us out of the... They let M pick up all of his stuff. And then they started escorting us out of the building. So we go all the way down. We get escorted through the secret tunnel underneath. And the guy that, like, officially, like, threw us out was like, hey, if you go this way, this is this street. If you go this way, this is the other street. And if you guys come back tonight, you're gonna be arrested. Have a nice night. And they like closed the door, and we were like, okay, that was fine. And like we walked out of the tunnel, and as soon as we walked out, we just started laughing. Like we started laughing so hard. We were like, oh my god, that was so funny. That was insane. I didn't need this. I don't know why I pulled it out. Like I didn't even read off it. And I actually took like a video of us like right after it happened, and I'll include that here. So we were trying to meet them, and we got kicked out of the House of Blues. It's been an eventful night, let me tell you. So after that happened, we were just sitting outside, and I was like, man, I hope Liz and the other girl are okay, because like we hadn't heard anything from them. Like I tried texting Liz, and she wasn't answering. So I was like, man, I hope they're okay. And so we're like sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, because like we weren't just gonna leave them there, you know? Like 10 minutes go by, and like Liz and this other girl come running out of the tunnel, and they're like, we just hung out with Griff for like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, what? And me and Dalton were like, oh my god, it worked. They got there. So they came out and they started telling us all this stuff, and they both got pictures, and they were talking to them, and basically, yeah, we all got kicked out. I guess I told them that they were going to a bar nearby. So we spent the rest of the night before, like, my parents picked me and Liz up because Dalton was going home with me. Like, we just spent the rest of the time there walking around trying to find the bar that was at because, like, we really wanted to meet them. But, like, that didn't happen. But still, Liz and this other girl that I don't remember her name, I'm so sorry, got to meet her, and I got kicked out of the House of Blues. No matter what happened, it was a great night, and honestly, like, I don't know how we are gonna top that for Dalton's birthday this year. Oh well. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was the story of how I got kicked out of the House of Blues. If you like this story, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below. Maybe leave a comment if you have any crazy stories like this one, or video suggestions, or anything, honestly. Or anything, really. Make sure you follow me on all my social media, which is down in the description. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!